Hi, this is Tom Malone. This is week 4 discussion board for BBS 200 Advanced Ballistics. And the question this week was compare and contrast the differences between a straight wall case and a bottleneck case when reloading. Well, the real big difference, all the procedural stuff's the same. The real big difference is in the bottleneck case. When you're doing your resizing and decapping, if you don't have that thing, set right in the shell holder, right, and you go up and not pay attention, you go up too fast, the die is a little bit less unforgiving on the bottleneck cartridge. So you have to make sure that whatever you do, it's perfectly centered and you won't crush the neck of your bottleneck cartridge. The other big difference is with the straight wall case, you can just look in and see what your charge is, and if you know what your charge looks like visually, although you're going to check it every time, but you have a good idea visually what it looks like. You know if you're double charging or undercharging just by looking in a straight wall case. In a bottleneck case, it's a little bit more difficult. You have to look in there with a flashlight sometimes, and especially with something like a 223 or a .17, very hard to see and get a visual reference on the contents of powder inside the case. So, but procedurally, they're all the same. Whether it's bottleneck or straight edge or straight wall rather. You just make sure you clean your brass, you deprime it properly, you clean your pockets out, you inspect your brass, and you load them up. Prime them up, load them up, make sure your overall length is proper, your cartridge overall length, and you have a decent crimp, whether it's roll or taper, and it's not over crimped. The only big difference is, like I said, with the bottleneck cartridge, you have to really be careful with your powder charge. And make sure you double check your loads, because it's just kind of hard to see in there. And you can, now again, if you double loaded something like a 223 or a .17, it'd probably dump out of the top of the cartridge, but I wouldn't want to leave that to chance. So for me, the straight neck is normally a little bit easier. The straight wall case is normally a little bit easier to reload. It's a little bit more forgiving in the press as well, as far as resizing and just overall reloading in general. Straight wall cartridges generally, for me, are easier to reload with regard to the amount of time it takes me to do the inspections and double checking and weighing and all that stuff that you have to do to reload a safe round. So, and then that's it for me. I really don't have any questions.